2-3 years into the school, that's when now we launched Jobzy. We launched it when I was still in school.
In high school?
Yeah.
What were you doing in high school? What were other of us doing in high school?
You know, everyone thinks like that some jobs are hidden, and they're somewhere, and I only give them. So we joined the Kenyan hub.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Kenya, Nigeria, should be Zambia, South Africa, and Tanzania.
And you were 17.
Yeah. So 17, about to turn 18. By the time I got the check, I'd already turned 18, but throughout like the DD process and whatnot, I was still sage. But I did tell them I was 18 because I'd done like my math and I knew, you know, when I was applying, you know, the first phase is you apply online.
Yeah.
Then there was a section where you choose your age, and the lowest age you could pick was 18. So I just put 18. You know, most guys would be like, you need to go to university.
Yeah.
Stop wasting your time here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hii mambo utafanya baadaye. So you see, just that freedom to like just go out there and do these things and accomplish these things. I think that's the biggest thing that I was allowed. I think the biggest problem is access to capital.
Okay.
Yeah. In my mind, could be something else. Because, you know, as Africa, as the entire continent of Africa, we raise less than 1% of the VC capital raised globally. I think what would drive this change is like if we had more success stories. I think that's the biggest gap we have in this part of the world, is like in terms of investment and driving capital to start it.
Welcome back, guys, to Raising Geniuses. And today we have a very interesting guest, one who ventured into the tech space at the age of 8. His name is Matt Magera. Karibu sana, Matt.
Thanks so much, Anthony.
So tell us, who is Matt as a human being, as a man, and then you can tell us about what you do. What does Matt do?
So I'm the founder of an organization called Talanta AI.
Okay.
What I do on a day-to-day is help people find jobs, especially young people. I think you know about the big unemployment problem we have in our country.
Yes.
And all that.
Yes.
At heart, I'm someone who's very passionate about technology, who loves hacking things, building things, working on the hard problems and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us, there is Talanta AI, and then you had talked about Jobzy initially. Tell us the relationship between the two.
Okay. So name of the company is Jobzy.
Okay.
Jobzy is a company I started when I was just 16 years old, focused on helping informal workers find jobs. These are your mechanics, your cleaners, your plumbers, and all that.
Yeah.
Then a couple of years later, we launched Talanta AI, which is now focused on more professionals. Think developers, think accountants, business managers, and all that.
Okay.
The two products still exist and work hand to hand today.
Okay.
Talanta is a bit more robust because we have a very strong HR side and recruitment side to it.
Yeah.
You know, helping like matching companies with staff.
Yeah.
Also work with universities and helping them with placements of students.
Okay.
Like Strathmore University has us on their website where they help data science students find jobs and all that.
Okay.
Then we also help recruiters with background checking.
Okay.
And all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jobzy was for informal sector.
Yeah.
And then now Talanta AI came for the techie sector.
Yes.
And then now, are they working together now? Is Jobzy still there?
Yeah, Jobzy is still there. Jobzy is on Jobzy.Africa.
Okay.
Talanta AI is on Talanta.ai.
Okay.
Yeah, so the two still exist today.
Okay.
Maybe I can tell you a bit more about the AI bit. So we launched Talanta AI back in 2023.
Okay.
This was when ChatGPT had just launched. Everyone was playing around with it. Every company out there was doing a billboard with some ChatGPT prompt and all that. Yeah. So we said there's a new technology that has just come.
Yeah.
How can we take it and use it to improve our products?
Yeah.
So and then there was also the interest, because building Jobzy, I would guys who are in the tech space, guys who are looking for like more formal structured jobs would also reach out to me. No, when the name of your company is Jobzy, everyone thinks they have so many jobs to give.
So do you have jobs to give?
Yes, we do have jobs to give on the platform, but everyone would like inbox me. You know, everyone thinks like that some jobs are hidden and they're somewhere, and I only give them give me those jobs. So I'd get a lot of requests from those types of people. So that's when we decided to launch Talanta AI, focused on that problem. So we do automated job matching. We help guys make improvements to their resumes, cover letters, CVs with AI and all that.
Okay.
And then for the recruiter side, we help them find good talent. We help them with verification, the assessments and all.
Good. Let's go back to the young age. So what did you start to do at 8? How did you get into the tech space or the tech world?
So it started out with games.
Okay.
You know, so what I was very excited about when I was very young is playing games.
Okay.
That was like one of my top.
What games were there?
Those are mostly mobile games. I
Okay.
think you remember the Subway Surfers, you remember the Temple Runs.
Yeah.
I think they're still there today.
Yeah, Temple Run is still there.
So I used to play a lot of these games.
Yeah.
And then you know the way you play at some point, saying I started trying to tinker with the games and hack into the games and try to get myself more coins so I could get a better character or get some exciting tools which I could use and they would make me boost my score. So that's how it started. I used to hack these games and I used to sell these game hacks to my friends and all that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you started making money from the hack?
Yes. Okay. So this was back in this was back around, I think I should have been maybe in class 4, 5 at the time. I was around 8, 9 at that time. So that's how it started. Like that's when the excitement like developed. Playing around, the tinkering around started around there. Then eventually I went to high school. I went to a school called Mang High School. And I think that's when like because 2-3 years into the school, that's when now we launched Jobzy. We launched it when I was still in school.
In high school?
Yeah.
What were you doing in high school? What were other of us doing in high school?
See, okay, for us, we were studying, and then when we were free, we were also thinking of how do we, you know, there's that passion, there's that excitement.
Yes.
And then because again, what happened, I think we started it in high school, then COVID came after that. Yeah. So it gave us enough time now to we developed the idea and did all the rough work around it, but COVID gave us like enough time to put things nicely together and launch and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then we actually put together the platform. So I was doing this with my friends from the school at the time, 2 friends. So we put together the platform, we launched it. The very first version of Jobzy was we did a website and then put a phone number and then went online and got various cleaning companies and mechanics and whatnot. Then we had what do I call it, a yellow page, yellow pages we had made for ourselves.
Yeah.
Then we put a hotline on our website.
Call this number.
Yeah.
If you need a job.
Yeah.
Did you have jobs?
So what we're doing, the target was we target customers. So call this number when you need a service done. So we have this portfolio of service providers.
Yes. Who you have checked online.
Yeah.
You don't even have a relationship with them.
So of course when we check online, we find them, we call them and ask them, we're doing this, would you be open to working together?
Yes.
Of course, you know, in Kenya, mtu hawezi kataa pesa.
Is it free?
Well, it's free. Yeah. We only take a small cut if you, you know, we have brokers and everything. So I was calling them and telling them we'll be your small cap broker to help you find work. And, you know, that time kulikuwa with the thing of social distancing and you know, everyone was moving to doing things online and all that. Yeah. So there was that big trend at the time. Yeah. So everyone is thinking how do I go online? You know, because most of the guys who made money during COVID were guys either in essentials or you're doing something online. Yeah. So for this business people at the time, many of them, the question was, how do I move online? How do I continue making money during these tough times? And then us reaching out to them and saying, we have an online platform, we want to give you this to help make money. Who would say no? So we did that phone number. Eventually, some months later, we transitioned it to more of a WhatsApp business type of platform. And eventually, we built the app and the website and everything. So doing the phone number, we did the phone number for a while. It was actually my phone number. Guys would call me. And then I would see, okay, who's around your place, who can do that service, and then I call them, then we send them over, do the job, then you'd pay through us, and then we'd give give the guy the
How
cash.
much did you make in the first few months or year?
So maybe gross. Could I remember gross? I remember gross was around 50. It wasn't so much, around 50K.
And what age were you this time?
I was 16 around.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's big money for a 16-year-old.
Wow. So we did that, and then the next year now, there's this guy. Was one of the guys. So we had three people. There was one of them who was like more of the businessy at the time. You know, it comes from a more business-oriented family. So it was like, hey, this thing is growing. You know, we can raise money. That these people called investors who are looking for this big ideas, and we've done this. It's working. Let's go look for them and whatnot. So now we go into the rabbit hole of like the VC world and like trying to understand startups and how this works.
Yeah.
Now at the time when it started out, we just thought this is a cool project and see how it goes. This guy says can actually get some serious cash out of this and serious cash for expansion and growth and all that, and like take the thing far much further, So we get into that rabbit hole. Eventually, after around the next year when I was 17, we got our first, should I call it our pre-seed round. We joined a lab called Adenian Labs.
Okay. They're here in Kenya?
Yeah. They're here in Kenya. They're active in 5 African countries.
Okay.
Yeah, they're active in 5 African countries. So we joined the Kenyan hub.
Okay.
And then Kenya, Nigeria, should be Zambia, South Africa, and Tanzania.
And you were 17.
Yeah. So 17, about to turn 18.
Yeah.
By the time I got the check, I'd already turned 18. But throughout like the DD process and whatnot, I was a little sage. But I did tell them I was 18 because I'd done like my math and I knew.
Yeah.
You know, when I was applying, the first phase is you apply online.
Yeah.
Then there was a section where you choose your age.
Yeah.
And the lowest age you could pick was 18. So I just put
18. The greater. Okay.
As the lowest, I just say, okay, there's no option for me. So let's just
say 18. Yeah.
Yeah, they just went. By the time we closed and like everything was set up, I think we had already turned 18, but I think there was maybe one person on my team was still 17. Yeah. Among the 3 of us.
Okay.
So this was actually before we finished high school.
Wow. So you were raising before you finished high school?
Before we finished. So actually the funny thing is, when we finished, we already had our first office in Raptor Road because we were under the hubs. So they give you an office space where you can use it to like build your startup and you can hire your team and your team is working. So immediately we finished, we have our office space.
We know where to go. We're not like wondering, what do I do with it?
Yeah. So we have our space. We're there every day. You're reporting to work.
Yes. I'm sure it was very exciting.
It was very exciting at the time. It was very exciting. And so we did that for a while. So now this is 2022. So we started in 2020 during COVID. That's when we launched. Next year we start thinking about expansion. Then 2022 now is like serious building now. That's when now we put like more robust platforms. The goal was to put something like an Uber-like platform, transition from like the manual matching and connecting and to actually a robust platform and all that. So we did that 2022. Then the next year, that's when AI comes by and ChatGPT, and then that's when we launched Talanta AI.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow, very interesting story. So if we go back to your story, who do you think led you or like inspired you to go into the technology space, even at an early age?
I think, what would I say? For me, it was something I'd say it was inborn. Though I didn't get the chance to like the external like influence, like guys who came and told me get into tech. First, it was something we used and found exciting. It was something more inborn. Actually, like this time when we're in school and we're doing jobs and whatnot, like my friends and me, we got into a lot of trouble, because it's something, what do I put it? It's something that's not very common.
Okay.
And you know, when the teachers would hear about what we're doing, it's like, I think for them, they felt it's like we're being naughty.
Yeah.
We don't want to stick to the norm. We don't want to do what.
Yeah, KCSE is here. You guys should focus on.
You're not focused. You're doing the wrong thing. You're wasting time. So, you know, that's the kind of mood we got from
So
that.
actually, you did not have support from the school environment.
I think for one of my friends, in fact, he got his parents called to school, and there's a lot of few, you know, like there was that, you know, bit of rift here and there.
Yeah. What about your parents? Did your parents support you?
My parents were very supportive. My mom especially. I think she you know, for them, they felt I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Making a lot of use of my time. So where they could and where they would give me either be it moral support, be it guidance, you know, advice on how to tackle some problems, because also the journey is not as smooth as well. So you know, there's always like the few struggles here and there. So I'd be able to get the advice and all that through that. And then I think what I thank my parents most for is, you know, for most households in Kenya, you don't get the liberty to do what I did.
Yes.
You don't get the chance to like go and raise money when you're 17 and
finish school.
When you finish
university, get married, and then you can do everything.
Like, even by virtue of being able to, like, you know, even when I finished high school, like I told them I have a place to work and I'll be going here to work and I have a team. You know, most guys would be like, you need to go to university.
Yeah.
Stop wasting your time here.
Yeah.
Hii mambo utafanya baadaye. So you see, just that freedom to like just go out there and do these things and accomplish these things. I think that's the biggest thing that I was allowed to. Because also in my family, I know like there are some other, maybe in the extended bit, they used to think like my parents are wameniachilia sana, yes? What's this guy doing? He's not in school, he's doing all these business things, eh?
Yeah.
So they used to have that feeling like nimeachiliwa sana, and but them they were like, no, we know March is doing the right thing and all that. So,
and to take you to the students, how are the fellow students teaching? Like, hey, you guys.
For them, I think there was the air of amazement. They would be shocked. Like, how do you have the confidence to do this? Like, you're getting into trouble. There are all these problems. Like, you know, for them, like, there's that culture, you know, that is deeply rooted in you, that you have to do these things a certain way. And if you're not doing it the way you're not doing it, you're rebellious. You're rebellious. So it's like that's the crazy guy who is doing all these things. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be there's some who we actually worked with. You know, there's actually this funny thing. Like, there's some, while still at school, there's some guys who we had told to join us, but we had to stop because we got into some trouble that were recruiting child labor.
Because you're picking your friends who are younger.
Because no one was 18, so it's child labor.
Okay.
So kulikuwa na hizo tu funny things along the way.
Yeah.
So for me, even when I'd say if someone's a parent and you have a child who's like excited about these things, give them, even if you don't have the financial capacity to, like, I don't come from a very rich home where my mom would write me $100,000 VC check, but just giving them the room to like just explore and learn and figure out how these things can happen, you know? No, especially when they're young, that's the best time for them to go out there and take these risks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as a parent, you advise a parent to, like, I have seen my child. How does a parent identify the child is not playing around, but he really has the desire to be in tech?
I think you can genuinely tell these things. You can go where they're going. Okay. If they tell you I'm going to do this, you can just ask them to show you and let's go together. Like, I know, like, one of my co-founders, he doesn't even come from Nairobi, he comes from the coast.
Yes.
And he actually like sat down his parents and took them through everything and like showed them before they let him join. Like, you can generally ask, okay, show me what you're doing. Yes. And I think if they're able to take you through and show that this is what I want to do. This is the journey I've taken. This is what I've achieved so far. You can be able to tell, okay, this guy is serious about what.
So number one, they're supposed to have genuine interest.
Just have a just have a conversation with them. Understand what they want to do.
Yes.
Understand where they're going. What have they seen that they feel, just sit down, have a conversation with them. And that's best maybe if you have someone who's maybe especially in their teenage years, because they can be able to express themselves and tell you, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve, and then just give them the room. They can still go to school, just have them like organize themselves, wajipange, and then they can find a way to do both and not let anything.
What else now? Since let's say if I'm a parent, I want to really have a genuine, there's a desire to know what my child is doing. And how else can a parent support the child? Do you talk about financially supporting them? Should they write a check? Go and rest.
If you have the capacity to write a check and you see it's a decent business idea, you can write the check and support them. I think best, and especially when they're very young, I think the best thing to do is put them in environments where they can meet people who are smart, even smarter than them. So if your child is very interested in writing code, put them in an environment where they can meet other coders and see people who are better than them in the space. And then they can be able to be engaged and exposed to much more than they currently see. If your child is interested in business, put them in an environment where they are with other business people who they can understand these things. Doesn't matter if they're young. Me, I got into this space where I would go for tech meetups. I tell guys this story. Most tech meetups, we're going for tech meetups when I was 17 to meet other tech people, and then I'd go there and they're serving alcohol, and I'm like, guys, just drink alcohol. It's so good, and nobody's nobody's there to tell you not to do this. But I would go for these meetups. Yes, it was an adult environment and all that. But I had the opportunity to build most of my important early connections, meet other guys in the space, get to interact with them, get to learn what other people are doing, what other people are building, and then through that you grow. Rather than leave them in their close knit circles, expose them to they go out there and get exposed, meet people who are doing what they're doing. Not even sometimes, maybe someone might think they love tech, and you go out there and get exposed. Then
this is not for me. Let me go back to other people.
So the best thing, don't put them in a situation where they are saying, I had an interest in this, but I didn't get it. They had the opportunity and they were able to explore and learn, okay, this is for me or this is not for me. Because again, with very young people, you tend to assume you like something, but maybe you don't. You should not. So if they quickly get the chance to go out there and get exposed to this and know maybe this is something that's for me, this is something that's not for me, they can even make a decision and say,
what about this young guy? The guy is in college maybe, and the guy maybe picked a course that is not, IT related, and they really want to get into this space. What did you tell them? And would you tell them to risk or try? And what did you tell them?
It depends. It depends how far you are in your course. Maybe in your last year, just finish it. If you're early on, you could decide to leave it and switch to IT. But the thing is, what I realized in the tech space, is many guys building, many guys doing the very big things, never studied technology, never studied computer science, never had any formal coding training. It's just guys who sat and went through tutorials online, YouTube, as they call it, the University of YouTube.
Yes.
So they went and did the sources, and then they built, again, the best way, it's one of the best ways to learn, to grow your skills in tech is by solving actual problems, building things. You go out there and build solutions and build another and build another. That's when you get really good. School, you're mostly doing theory, doing math, doing all those things. But going out there and actually building things, you get to understand things in a more intricate way compared to someone who went to school for it. So, regardless of what you're doing in college, university, you could keep the degree for, we live in a society that really values the education credentials. So you could decide to finish a degree to show people.
Okay.
But in matters learning tech, you have the opportunity online.
Yeah.
And these days there's vibe coding.
Yes.
Guys, you're able to code with the support of LLMs. So now
almost vibe coding.
Vibe coding.
What is vibe coding by definition?
Vibe coding, it's coding in coding in natural language, or coding in like written English.
Okay.
When you code, you code in like Python and in like JavaScript and what. Now vibe coding is coding in like English.
Okay.
The reason why they call it that is you go to ChatGPT and say, write for me code for an e-commerce website that has a payment gateway and has for
you're giving actual instructions.
You give the instructions in natural language. Then you get code
back.
So now that's vibe coding.
Okay. Okay. So the things are really changing. So the advice for that young entrepreneur or that young person who is already in college is that if you want to get into technology, you just have the option of just finish what you're doing, focus on solving the problem, and then after that, you can be able to use technology or bring technology, as we have been saying in the previous episodes, to make sure that your product can scale or move faster.